Hey there, welcome to the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. My name is Joey and I have a crafting page called Created in Awe. I am one of Christina's affiliates for her wood kits, and she's invited me here today to show you one of her kits, craft it up with you, and kind of tell you about how it all works. If you're already following Christina, you know. And if you're following me too. But if you're new to this, listen, we're going to go through all the details and we're going to have some fun with a kit. Let me know if you're new. Let me know if you see this on replay. Christina's going to be checking the comments, I know, to help answer questions. I hope she can be here live. I know she's super busy, so if not, I will cover them as best I can and she'll come back later. Let me show you what you can see of the kit. This is the Autumn Blessings Hutch, how it's packaged. And okay, tell me in the comments if you have looked at her Hutch collection basically on the website and if you've gotten any of them. I did one, I think it's called the Farmhouse Hutch. Absolutely loved that kit. It's adorable and I was so happy to be able to get this to show you for the fall season. So we're going to do this one up. If you're new to Christina's wood kits, they are a high quality birch. The majority of the kits, especially the larger ones, are 1/4 inch thick birch. And like I said, they are high quality. They are going to be beautiful if you want to put a stain on any of these kits for your finish. You'll have that wood grain come through and it's just really, really pretty. But you can also paint them. So I'm going to stain some of this and I'm going to paint some of it. But I also want to show you some of her new Paint Couture paints. They are so pretty. I made them as well. It wasn't a mistake. I went down a rabbit hole last week on her website looking at all of the gorgeous colors, because if you know me, I am a sucker for muted, soft, vintage type colors. And wow, that's what I found in her in the collection of paints that she has on her site. So we're going to look at some of these just so you can get an idea. Some of these are mineral paint, some of these are chalk paints. I have a couple of glazes. Actually, these are all acrylics, not mineral. These are all, yeah, acrylic mineral paints. These are the mineral paints. I do have one that's a chalk style paint that I got before, but I want to show you real quick. But I picked them for the colors. So shale stone, like a real deep charcoal gray. This is grounded, so it's like a muted beige. Not really, I guess it's a grayish, you might call it. And this one pretty. Kale sprout. Oh, isn't that so pretty? You can get a better idea of looking on her website. She has some swatches made for you too. Sophia. So it looks very blue to you. It's more of a gray blue, almost to the teal, but it's on the gray side. This one is truffle. So it's not really a brown like you think if you know other truffle colors. This is more of a gray brown. A ground? No, that's not, that doesn't sound good. Okay, then these are the two glazes that I got. So I got black chiffon. So it's a black glaze, and then this was recommended by Christina, light brown sugar for a soft brown glaze, because I also have wax that I can use for a dark glaze. The paint colors I already had, Autumn Sage. I've used this one. You tell it's like a soft green. I have Italian Ivory, so an off-white, creamy white. And I know we're going to be using this one today called Firelight. So there's that gorgeous, vibrant, but deep orange. Okay, so we've got all of these ready to go. Are you laughing at me? You loved how I did the Farmhouse Hutch. I know, it was so cool. You've looked at them, Judy. Hi, Sharon. Okay, so those, I just had to show you a quick glimpse, and we're going to decide on some of them to use on this. I can already tell that sage, the firelight. I don't know. I'm going to play with some of the other colors. I'll use that Italian Ivory. I don't know. We're going to look. And then the glazes too. So we're going to get all of it going. Let's open the kit. So kind of going back, I was explaining how her kits work. She has hundreds of kits on the website, all seasons, all different styles, whether you like cute, whether you like whimsical, whether you like vintage, whether you like primitive, if you like tray decor pieces, if you like large door hangers, all different sizes, all different shapes. I have a collection with her called Farmhouse Charm inspired by Joey. That's located on the website as well. You'll be able to find some of those just as you're going through looking, but there's a category also. And tomorrow we're releasing the fall set of collection pieces for my collection with her. So over on my page, Created and All, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central, I'll be showing you all of those kits. I'm excited. But this one, I'm so sad that I didn't put any of these Hutches into my collection. Now this one is a little bit thinner, okay? These Hutches, I don't know if it's because that's how they're designed to fit together. Like I said, the majority of her kits are 1/4 inch thick for each of the pieces. This one is an 1/8 inch thick, but it is still that really pretty wood. So let me show you the pieces. First of all, you have a stand that comes with it. So that's really, really helpful. So you don't have to come up with a way to stand it up. You can easily put it right in this stand, and it has a cute little made with love on the side. So there's your stand. And she packages her kits so that you can at least get an idea of how it goes together. If you need more information, of course, she has some of these videos here on her page. She has some loaded onto the website. She's also on YouTube and she's on Pinterest. So she's got tons of ways to get to inspiration, videos, and so forth. Plus there's other affiliates like me who make these wood kits and they post them on their page as well. So lots of ways. And then you can always go back to her website to see the photo of, you know, when you look at the product, it shows you how it goes together. So this is just so cute. And you can be a little creative with these Hutches. You don't have to put them together in the order it is received. Is what I want to say. Okay, let me kind of just twist these back and readjust. Look at that pie, it's so cute. Oh my gosh, I didn't even get a close-up view of this yet until now. Isn't it cute? Oh my gosh, can you see? So you've got your pumpkin, it says Autumn Blessings, apple cider, a little round board. We press them for apples. You pick them, we press them. There's a pie. Welcome over here. Pumpkin spice season, a couple of cups, and a whipped cream can, and then you have the Hutch base. Now, let's take it apart so you can see. Oh, and you've got these leaf accents at the top, so we'll take that off first, okay? Then you have all of your little pieces that go inside, and I feel like I need to take a snapshot of this, but I may have to go to the website. You don't have to put them in this order. You can rearrange it. But let me set these down. Oh, there's a frame around Autumn Blessings, so you can paint that separate. The apple cider jug, the apple sign. I hope I don't end up having to take like 2 hours to do all this because it's detailed, but we'll see. Oh, there's a frame around the welcome as well. Pumpkin spice season. The cups are separate, but they do stack. Okay, now you've got your Hutch, and it's going to be in 3 pieces. You have your Hutch top frame, and oops, more than that. You have your frame for your cabinets, your cabinet doors and drawers. Okay, I'm going to turn it around. Okay, oh, and I forgot to show you the pumpkin sign. I set it aside. So it's like a tall hello there pumpkin. Isn't it cute? So that will just like rest in front or glue to the front of it. And then you have the very back piece of the Hutch. So you can paint your background and then you'll be able to put all your pieces on the front of it. Now the Hutch front, so you know, it does glue in with a little bit of a border around it. Let me show you that real quick too. see there's a border. So if you don't want this, all of this to be the same color as the interior, pay attention when you paint it so you can get the outside edge, and it goes all the way around like that. Okay, let's get started. Okay, now the one that I did before, I did it in green, so similar to the autumn sage color. So we're going to change it up. I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to stain all of the outside wood and not the drawers. Let's paint the drawers and cabinets, but let's stain the outside, and we'll paint the background, and we'll paint the pieces. So I'm going to start with this, and I like to use the cardboard that she sends with the kits. It helps me hold the pieces in place. It also helps me kind of keep them organized, and so I can move some things out of the way when I need to, and protects my table a little bit. So let's put the back piece on here. I might stain the back of it too. Let's just stain all of this, and then we'll do all the paint on the other pieces so they really stand out. Let's do that. Okay, so let's get, okay, Christina, let's see. Hi, Peggy. Looks like fun. You got the sewing hutch. Oh, I want to see how you did that, Judy. Have you done it? Let's see if I've missed anything. I don't know. Did I say hi to you, Sharon? I hope I did. I've lost track. You've never used mineral paint. You know, I'm playing with it. I'm getting used to it. I really just use it for the color. I haven't paid too much attention to the differences. She did send me some information, and I need to probably post that on my page. If I didn't already, I may have when she sent it to me, to kind of give you guys a little background as to the different types. So Christina, tell me, the glazes can be used as stains, right? Can I use this light brown sugar as a stain on the piece? I'm going to play with it on the back of this while she's probably working. So I'm going to grab a little sponge dauber and a little bit of the glaze. Yeah, it's going to be super duper light. So it's going to be almost like an oak color. Let me see if I can add a second layer and what that will look like. It darkens it just a little bit. I think that's going to be pretty. What do you think? Kind of a golden oak. You do it all the time. Good. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead with this one. Let's go ahead and stain. I'm just, like I said, I'm going to stain all of it, and the frame for the drawers and cabinets. So let's go ahead and the frame for the hutch itself. So we'll do that in a minute. I'm not going to worry about too much of this behind here, but the outside edge I need to do. So let's do this outside edge. Ooh, I got a lot. So we're going to spread it around. A glaze goes on super thin. I have used the, I just went blank, Waverly brand of their antique glaze, antique wax. Sorry, just went blank. A lot. This reminds me of that, but this is actually it's more slick than that is. Now you can like use a wet wipe with this if you want it even lighter, like if you have a darker color of the stain. Oh, I need to do this whole interior too. All of it. So it goes a long way. It does not take much at all. Let's get all of it. See how far this is going? That is really feels nice. Okay, so this again is the Autumn Blessings Hutch, and I want to tell you a little bit more about her wood kits. When you order, because I told you she has hundreds on her site. Now she has it set up rather than keeping a huge inventory of all of these pre-cut kits, she cuts them to order. So you need to give her a day or two to actually pull in your order, get it cut, pack it up, and ship it out. But that way you have a larger variety of kits you can choose from, and you have from all seasons all year round available to you. Oh, I missed a spot right there in the middle. Got it. Okay. So that is our Hutch piece. I think I can just pick up this. Oh, and you can do the back of it if you want to. Kind of a golden oak color. We're going to set that over here to dry. Ooh, I got a lot on this edge. Hang on. There we go. I didn't realize I went over those edges so heavily. Got a lot. All right, now let's go ahead and pull in the outside pieces of the top of the hutch and the outside pieces for the drawers and cabinets. And we're doing the same thing. Since this is kind of saturated with a lot of the glaze, I am not going to pick up as much as I go through this. Don't need as much on my sponge because these are very thin little edges, and I don't want a ton of it like getting wasted around the outside. So you'll be able to get these little 2-ounce jars. Is it 1 ounce or 2 ounces? They actually look like 1 ounce jars of just about any color you like if you want to look at her paints. But you can use any paints. You can use acrylic paints. You can use chalk paints. If you are one of my Magnolia customers, you can even use our chalk paste to paint with. Whatever you like. Okay, make sure I have the right side. Yes, I do. So that it matches. This is going to be so pretty. I love the light stain. You know, another option is you don't have to put any color on it at all. You could just seal it with a clear sealer if you want just the really light wood tone. Has anybody done that with any of her wood kits? I've done that on a couple of pieces, left it just the natural color, and then I use a spray sealer on mine to protect it. All right. Okay, there's those pieces. I'm going to leave. Oh, you know what? While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do the stand. So I'm going to set that aside. I have more cardboard. So I'm going to get another piece or two, I guess. Those are stuck together. We don't need them stuck together. Here, get another piece of the cardboard. Can you tell I use a lot of Christina's kits? They're so fun to craft with. All right, let's go ahead and on the stand, however you decide to do it, I like to do it the same color as the base of the hutch so that it doesn't stand out. If you see it from the side, it just kind of blends in with the whole look of it. But you'll want to do both sides of each piece. Woo. So there's one side. Who's into fall crafting? Have you already been making things for fall? And I want to know, what is your thing this year? Because I feel like every year I kind of hone in on a particular theme, particular like pumpkins, you know, just pumpkins or leaves or scarecrows or something like that. I'm going to let that dry for a minute so that we can come back in and do the other part. Now, I want to stain the frames that go around the signs. I think I'm going to stain the top of the pie let's start with that. I think, yeah. I thought I was going to stain the leaves that go across the top of the hutch too, but then they won't stand out against the hutch frame. So we will do those a little differently. Okay, let me put that back with that sign and do this one. So are you gonna decorate with pumpkins? Are you gonna decorate with leaves? Is there a particular color that you're loving for this year? I love the muted tones. I'm gonna be using especially what I have here. I'm not sure. I want to pull in this kale sprout color, but it may wait, and I may do it at Christmas time. But this grounded is going to be so pretty. We'll use that one on something. Okay. All right, we stained that frame. I think I'm going to stain the apple cider jug too. Because this is so light, it's just going to look like an old jug. Now, so these are going to stand out, hopefully, enough against the background. I really didn't think about that a second ago. What else do I want to stain? I would have done the pumpkin sign, but I think it needs to stand out. It's going to be in front. Okay, I think that's going to be it for that stain. We can come back and do more if we want to later. So what do I want to be? Let's see, different colors. We're going to go ahead and do the pumpkin in firelight. I'm going to mix colors. So the back of it's going to be in firelight. I think the word that says pumpkin is, I'm going to lighten it up with some of the ivory. The cabinet doors I'm going to do in the ivory. That's going to be ivory. That's going to be ivory and ivory. Okay, and this pumpkin's going to be in the firelight. So let's do these. I may not have enough little sponge daubers now that I think about it. I have several. Go with this one. If I have to, I will get a little paintbrush. I like to use the sponge daubers because they, ooh, that's so pretty. They just work faster. Okay. Now when it comes to the words, I'm going to go over them really lightly in a couple of passes. You know what? I could come back over it with the glaze and deepen it. Ooh, that looks good. So that's the back of our pumpkin. That looks good so far. We'll do this pumpkin as well. All I'm just going to do, and I'll come back over these with a glaze to age them up a little bit. Maybe that black glaze. Okay. There's our little pumpkin. Now let's play and blend some colors here. I've got some paint mixing trays here, and I'm going to use a couple of my stir sticks to, there's already enough on this. Let's just see what happens when I bring in the ivory by itself and just add it to the sponge and see if it lightens up what is on the sponge. So it's going to take quite a bit probably. Okay, let's just grab the sponge and kind of add a little bit of water. Water. Where's my water? To help them blend together. Okay, so I've added that ivory color onto the sponge. Let's test it on the back of this and see what it's going to look like. That's looking a little pink, so I want some of the firelight mixed in. So let's actually mix them rather than just using what's on the sponge by itself. And get a little bit of the firelight. It's not going to take much. We're just playing for this one piece, and then we'll see if we want to do that on something else. Okay, that's probably going to work better. It's still a little bit light. That's going in my jar. Get a new one so I can get some more. That's better. And it's lighter. I think that's going to look good. Okay, so we'll just go over this. Some of it's going down into the word, but I'll come back over it with a glaze. Okay, so, and let me carefully lay this down so you can see, whoop, whoop, how that's going to stand out in the front. See how my paint went down into the letters? That's okay. I will get that fixed. Anything else? I feel like I want this to be orange also. Let's get a little bit more on here, just a little bit. And we'll make it. This is the pie plate. Okay, got that done. Well, that's going to be cute. That's going to be cute. I know that the pumpkin pie doesn't have a crust on top, but it's orange. I think it's cute. I like it. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to come back and stain these. That's what I needed to do with that sponge that is now wet in there. So let's see what other sponge I have. Here's one. Okay, let's get our lids. We'll come back to the ivory, and who knows, we may come back to the orange for the leaves that go across the top. Not sure yet what I want to do on those. Those in my jar. And let's get that glaze out again. To do the other side of our stand real quick. And then I can set it over there with the other parts of the Hutch frame to dry. I'm missing some comments. Maybe do a little dry brush on the ivory on the inside back of the Hutch. I'm going to do a lot of ivory on several pieces, and so that's why I was thinking I should avoid putting too much on the back or using that color on the back of the Hutch. You definitely can. I mean, you guys, I love the fact that these wood kits allow you to be so creative and really make it your own. So I like that idea a lot. I wonder why this feels so wet. Okay. All right, those are done. Let's set those over here because I don't need them. All right, so let's get the things I want to be in the ivory color. Let's go ahead and do the ivory color. So cabinets, the doors and drawers, the pumpkin spice season sign, and the you pick 'em, we press 'em, the whipped cream, that for now. Alrighty, get another sponge. I need to, oh wait, I'm going to use this one. That will work. Alright. doing the cabinet doors first. Those are definitely going to be a solid, but I am going lightly over the handle in a couple of passes. There we go. Just building that up. So there's that ivory color. Now I am not opposed to bringing in any of my other paints. I can definitely do that. But I like the ivory is a really soft white. It's a more creamy white than the one I normally use from Waverly. So I wanted to do that for this fall kit. Any paints you like work great. I think I'm going to go over these a second time just to make them a little more bright. Okay. And if you don't like working with small pieces, you can use some painter's tape flipped upside down with the ends of it rolled over on your cardboard or on your table to help hold the little pieces in place so you don't have to hold them. I didn't take the time to do that today. I especially like to do that when I have a lot of letters. Okay, let's see if we can paint these two together at the same time. Okay, I think dabbing that worked a little bit better. Okay, I don't think I did a second coat on this door, so let's do that real quick. Okay, those are done. Okay, so with all of the tiny little scored, etched, engraved words on these, I think I'm going to do a paintbrush. I want to go ahead and do the cups. No. Yes. I think I'm going to do the cups in this same color. Let's go ahead and get that done. So, whoop. These are the little ones you might want to tape down. That can be helpful. Here we go. Okay. What else? What else? What else? I feel like I'm missing something. I'm not. I've got the little stand still. I have these two little signs that I'm thinking I'm going to do in the sage color. One of them in the sage and maybe one of them in the orange. But these two are going to be in this ivory color. So let's get another tray. And we're going to water down the paint. It doesn't take very much at all. Go ahead and put a lid on this. We may come back to it again. And I'm going to get a paintbrush, a very flat one. Now this one is an angle, but it doesn't have to be an angle. You just want something flat so that you can glide over the top. And you want your paint to be very thin. Okay? See how the water just, now I have a lot more paint in here than I'm going to need. But what this does is it lets your paint sit on the top and not as much of it goes down into the engraved areas. So you get it watered down, you get a little bit on your brush, and you actually knock off most of it. And I'm going to put my glasses on, and then you let your paintbrush in a flat angle glide over the top, not putting the bristles down into the words. Okay, so it's just going to glide over the top. See what happened there? It went on the top layer and not as much of it went down into the words. And it doesn't take much. I haven't even gone back to get more paint. I can come back over this with a second coat if it needs more paint. So that's one sign. There's how it came out. And we get more paint and knock most of it off. And again, the lighter the words, the lighter you want to go with your paintbrush. So I'm going to start here and go very, very lightly over those words. And just do a thin coat. Like I said, if you need to, you can come back and do a second one. And there's that one. So it's very thin. I'm going to let these dry, and I am going to give them a second coat. Same thing on the whipped cream. Just glide over the top with only a little bit of paint. Okay? And there's the whipped cream. All right. Anything else I wanted to do this with? I don't want to do these signs in the ivory because we have so much going on. I think these two signs, yeah, let's do the sage on this one in the same manner, and then we'll do the firelight. We'll mix the firelight with some ivory for that one, I think, like this. Let's go ahead and do that right now because I've already got some ivory there. Get another. I'm missing some comments. I am sorry, guys. I wanted to get going on this. Let's put some of this in here and see how it blends. I'm not going to blend it into all of this. We're just going to bring over some of the ivory into this orange. But I need to add water too. So I'm going to actually dump some of that into my little jar there so it doesn't mix as much. Add some water to it like we did before. It really won't take much at all. Okay. There we go. See how we've got some on the side there? That's what I'm working with. Just a little bit on my brush. And I'm going to drag across. Oh, that's cool. It's really got a like you can see a two-tone look with it. Hang on. Can you see the streaks? Isn't that cool? I like that. Oh, I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Let me wash out my paintbrush. And we're going to go back over these other guys. These other guys. Does that make sense? The other pieces with, let me wash this a little bit more. There we go. Get it wet with the ivory. Coming back over here. I could have used a separate tray for this, for the other color, but it's okay. Okay, let's go back over these a second time. Just the same technique. Whoop! I keep flipping them over. Okay. So there it is with a second coat. It's a little bit, it shows a little bit more. Don't forget to knock off a lot of it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to have to stop picking them up until they're dry. Then I won't have to worry about it. Okay, whipped cream. Get these edges I missed. And that's done. So the only thing I have left is the base for the pie and the leaves. So let's do those in the green. I think that'll look good. And this sign in the green. Okay. So, done with firelight. Go ahead and put that in there. I need a bigger jar for all these paint pieces. And we're going to put water in that tray so I can wash it out later. Alrighty. Green, green, green. And then we might be glazing. We're going to glaze some of this. Okay. Let's start with got an old sponge. This is the Autumn Sage color for the leaves and the pie stand. I'm going to lightly dab and swipe so that it doesn't settle too much down into the etched lines. Let's just dab. I'm going to mostly dab. There we go. And then I finish with a little swipe just to smooth out the texture and make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Got the leaves. Oops. Missed a spot or two over here. As it dries, I can tell what I've missed. We'll let that dry a little bit. Let's do the pie stand. Okay, now the welcome sign we're going to water down. So let's get another tray. And I just, like I said, it's not going to take much. So just going to put a tiny, a tiny bit in there. And I am going to clean off my paintbrush again. Put some water in that. Paintbrush is a whole lot easier to clean than those sponges. Although I do clean them at the sink. Get a little extra water in there to clean it off. Alright, let's mix our sage color with the water. Knock it off, and then we're going to go over the welcome sign. Some, I'm not sure. I'm not following the conversation. So that's okay. That's okay. Glide over the top. Because I want these leaves to really stand out. I really don't want much of the paint to go down into them. So I'm kind of working around them a little bit. It'll have a little bit, but we're going to go in layers. So I'm going to let that one dry. That's my last piece to paint, guys. Now we can glue it together. And I'm going to get, here's my glue. Got to make sure that that's going to work for me. Oh, we're going to glaze. Hang on. While that's drying, I'm going to get out the black chiffon glaze. And is Christina, is she tied up? Is she in here? or if you guys have used these glazes. Hey, Dawn. We are doing one of the Hutch pieces that Christina has on the website. This is the Autumn Blessings Hutch. What's the best thing to apply this with if I want to take off most of it? Do I just use a paper towel? Or a wet wipe? Or a sponge and then wipe it off? I think I can use a sponge and then wipe it off. I've got this. Is that right? You're here. Okay, so if I'm going to do the glaze, let's say over these two pieces, because they're dry now. Sponge it on, wipe it off. Is that how it works? A wipe. So a wet wipe or a dry wipe? You know me. Let me go ahead and put a second coat on my welcome sign while you are answering, because it takes a second. Okay, I did get some of the paint down in these leaves, and that's okay. I think it still looks good. There's our welcome sign. I don't think I'm going to glaze that one because I want the brown to come through, but I'll glaze the others. We'll see. I may change my mind on that. A brush on and wipe off. Oh, you brush on and wipe off. Okay, brush on and wipe off. Okay, let's do that. Let me get a brush then. Okay. I've used the wax, but this is the first, these are the first glazes I've ever used. So I've got my paper towel. It's a little bit damp. Let me get a dry one. Alrighty. Pumpkin is going to get the glaze first. So we're going to glaze, apply it, and I want it to go down into the letters. So I'm really working it down in the letters. And then I'm going to wipe it off. Oh, that came out good. And it aged it just a little bit. So it put a little bit of color, a little bit of black tone on the surface that's orange already. And then it went down into the letters to bring those out. Yay! That's what I was hoping. Okay. Has anybody else used glazes much? Okay, I'm going to work it down into hello there. And then I'm going to swipe across all of it. Actually, I'm going to kind of randomly. I'm not going to go heavy on everything. And I'm going to wipe it back. Oh, I love how that deepened the color and aged it up. So there's hello there. See how I left it a little bit streaky? And we'll glue these together here in a couple minutes after they're totally dry. Okay, so here's our pumpkin spice season sign. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to dab it down into the words and across the tag. Now it looks scary because it looks like I just painted it all black on top, but see what happens when you wipe it back? It just ages it and settles down into the grooves. I need to get it down into those letters more. We're going to add more. And the wipe just pulls it back off of the top layer. Oh, but you'll have to give it a second to dry because isn't that cool? So here's the difference between this one and this one. See how much better you can read the words? I have been wanting to use a glaze for so long on these kits. I'm going to do it on the doors too. So let's go ahead. Work it down into the words on our apple sign and on the whipped cream. Well, I've got it. And on our autumn blessings. And I think I'm going to use down in the pumpkin and the letters there. All right. I know the longer you let it set, the more it is going to take hold on the painted surface. So if you want that, then let it set longer. If you want it to be thin, then go ahead and wipe it off. I'm going to see what happens when I use the wet paper towel. It's going to take more, it should take more of that glaze off than the dry. Yeah. So this sign's going to be a little bit brighter, but it still went down into the words. So you can see the difference. This one's a little bit brighter, but it went down into the words and the etched areas. Let's get the whipped cream before it, use the wet one because it kind of settled. It set and dried a little bit more. Okay. And there's the whipped cream. Autumn Blessings came out great. Did I show you that? I like that. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and do the welcome sign as well. We're just doing everything. We're just glazing everything. I'm getting a little bit crazy with the glaze, but I like it. Like I said, I have wanted to use a glaze for a long time on things, and I've just never taken the risk because I never knew of a good one to use. So once Christina had this on her site, I was like, okay, we're gonna grab. And I can get these little bitty jars and just test it out. Let's take a little bit more off with the wet. Looks so good. Okay, those can go in to the frames. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can take a little bit more of this off here. It's a little bit darker than I wanted it to be. There we go. Okay. Apple cider needs a glaze on it too, so you can read those. And even though it had the one color of glaze, I'm just putting another color over the top to highlight the words. Oh, that looks good. That looks good too. All right, time for the drawers. I'm going to get it down into the handles. I need to get that out of the way. Okay, I want the handles especially. They really look pretty good, but that's what I wanted to highlight or low light. Oh, I think my husband's home. Whoop. I'm going to add a little bit more to these. Spread that around. I think I'm going to go over these with the wet wipe too. I want a little bit of color, but I don't want a whole lot on the cabinet doors. I want them to be brighter up against that wood. All right. So go over it with the wet one. What do you think? My first time using glaze. Let's get this more wet. What do you think of the glaze? Have you used it much? I think I've asked you that. It does not need to be waxed. Yeah. Now you can spray seal these. Now the glaze kind of, to me, Tell me if I'm wrong, Christina. I think it acts like a wax to help protect your finish. But you can spray seal these if you want to. Okay, one more piece of pumpkin, because it has these etched lines that looks pretty good, but I also want a little bit of antiquing on the pumpkin itself. So we're going to get the glaze down into those lines and swipe it off. And it's going to give, depending on how heavily I wipe, I'm not going to wipe too heavy, it's going to leave it a little bit streaky and dirty looking. See? You see that? A little bit aged. All right. Did we get everything? I don't need to add it to the hutch. Got all these pieces. Might as well do the pie stand. I'm not going to do the pie. I'm going to do the pie stand. It just deepens that pretty green color. You may not be able to tell. Oh, it's almost the same color as my nails. That's funny. This is the same color as my nails. Okay. I think we got it, guys. I think we are done. Oh, nope, nope. Come back. Come back. I accidentally put that down in the water. Let's clean that off. I want to do the leaves too. One last. So we're going to tap it down into the center portions of the leaves. Might as well brush the excess around and then swipe it back off. See, I really love how it deepened that sage color. And it's not going to come off even because it just depends on how I swipe it back. If I go heavily, if I do it all the same. There's our leaves. Here, there. What do you think? What do you think? I love this. I love it. I'm addicted. The glaze needs to be sealed. It's not a sealer. Thank you for that, Christina. Okay, so can I use my spray sealer? Is that what you would think would work? I think I'm done with that. All right, now we have the hutch itself to put back together. And I don't need the stand yet. So here's the base piece we started with, and I made it all wood tone. Even the back, so that all of these pieces are going to stand out. So this is just like a full wood, not painted hutch. It's all stained, and we'll glue it down. Make sure my glue is ready to go. Yes, okay. So I'm going to dot my glue on the back. Now my glue will dry clear, so if I do end up with a little bit coming through, it's okay. Okay, this is called Art Glitter Glue. I know there's a lot of different ones. Christina, you probably have some recommendations. I get that one on Amazon. I've used Stick Fast in the past, and that has worked well. It's just a little bit harder to clean off of the places I don't want it, like my fingers. The Art Glitter Glue is a little easier to clean off. Okay, so the front pieces on the hutch, like I said, come in from the outside border slightly. Okay, I think, yeah, I got it in the right place. And then the base also. I used the light brown sugar and the black chiffon, yes. There's a darker brown that I might get. I think it's going to be a similar finish to what my my tin of wax is. That's a lot of glue. I think that's going to ooze out. So I didn't get that color yet, but I still might go back and get that color. Okay. I didn't paint the back of where the drawers and doors are going to be because that's going to all be covered up. So let's go ahead and put those in place. And two drawers kind of stuck together. There we go. So those are going in there. Whoops. Let's go ahead. Let's not just set them in there, Joey. You need to glue them. Uh-oh. Hold on. It may have taken hold with some of the glue already. Hold on. See if I can get it back out. You can use a pin or something to get in there. There. Don't put them in there till you're ready to glue because it's going to be hard to get a hold of them. So we'll just put some dots of glue in there. Drop them in. And let's see. I think we're going to go... I think we're going to turn these all the same way. I don't know which way. I'm going to go that way. I don't remember how it came, but it's going to look fine. Just like that so far. Alrighty. Now, that's the hutch. Let's glue together our pumpkin too. This piece. Remember, we tested our paint on the back to see if we liked the color. This piece goes right down the middle of your standing pumpkin. Make sure that's even. There we go. Hello there, pumpkin. Isn't that cute? That one's fine. Okay. Now, let's see how the leaves are going to be. I don't know. I may need to glue those on after we do the interior pieces. Yeah, because they may overlap. So let's go ahead and decide. The welcome sign was here. I don't know which way. I should have done. Okay. These frames are going to get a whitewash. Is that what Marlene had suggested? A whitewash on the frames or the back? I think it was the back she was suggesting. We're going to do this on the frames. So we're going to get a dry brush, get some of that Italian ivory, a little bit more, and I'm going to dab off quite a bit, and we're going to do a dry brush. Oop, I need more. Dabbed off too much. Here we go. So it's going to have a stained look coming through behind it, and what look like the paint's kind of wearing off of the front. Just takes a little bit of paint. Start with a light brush stroke, and then you can always add. Okay, so here's the difference on these two frames. There's that one. You can still see the wood behind it, but it's going to stand out much better against this wood background. Now, so we're going to do both of them. So a light touch. Try not to get it on anything else while I'm here working. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna look a whole lot better. Yep, I like that. Okay. Okay, stop, Joey. That's going to be fine. That's going to be fine. All right, so that's going to go in there. Which way do I want the welcome sign? This way or this way. I want it this way. Alrighty, so we'll do that in a second because I want it to dry. Got our cups were down here. Our pie plate was up here. Our whipped cream was down here. I might put the whipped cream up here with the pie. No. Well, maybe. Let's see. Put the pie in the middle. I don't know. I'm playing with it. We'll see. I think the pumpkin spice season's going to go up there. Nope, it's not. Whoop, almost forgot my apple cider. What else? Got the welcome, got the pumpkin, autumn blessings. Where's autumn blessings going to go? Over here. And the pumpkin can go up there. And hold on. Yeah, I like that better. That and that. See, you get to play with this. This is not how they were arranged to start with. I'm kind of playing with it a little bit. There we go. I want to make sure my colors are balanced. All right. So, let's go ahead. Oh, hang on. Got a little bit of that paint on my leaves. I don't want the ivory paint. Let me see if I can take some of that off. I'll go back over it with a little bit of glaze afterward. Okay. And then the pumpkin's gonna go there. Alrighty, let's put our frame in. Okay, I'm gonna put the glue on the back of the frame and then center it where I want it to stand inside this piece. And it's going to rest on the bottom. There. And then the welcome sign just pops into the middle of that. Let's go ahead and do the pumpkin and the whipped cream and the cups all down here. I really am happy with the balance of colors. I mean, pretty much we have 4 colors going on total. The glaze I'm not considering a color because it's not here by itself. It's just adding to everything on top. All right. Let's move the pie over. I want something in that. Hang on. I am going to take in my pumpkin spice season tag hole right over here. I want something in that. We're going to take a little piece of raffia and tie in that. And then I'm going to tie a little raffia around the pumpkin sign too. So, I've got a big piece here. We're going to cut it down. I just don't want to cut it too short to start with because I have a habit. I have a bad habit of doing that. So I'm going to tie it to the front. I'm going to put the knot on the front side. And then we will trim it. Okay, scissors. I'm going to leave it a little bit long, and I can trim it shorter if I want. Just a little bit of something, something. I don't like to leave those those holes empty. Like when you put buttons on stuff, I don't like it to be empty. All right, pumpkin spice season. So cute. Okay, so now we're doing the pie. I'm just going to put some glue in the middle of that. Center that over here. Build our little pie. Okay, guys, if you came in late, this is the Autumn Blessings Hutch kit from Christina. I've done a pinned comment. Woo! Always dropping stuff. A pinned comment with the direct link to this kit, and it is an affiliate link of mine, so it does help me if you use that. There's a link in the description and a featured link that takes you to my affiliate, just her general shopping on her whole website. If you want to use that, you can use the other link to shop the whole website too. But this kit is so cute. I mean, I just can't get over it. The apple cider jug isn't showing up a whole lot, but I think it's still cute. I'm happy with the color on it. So you can go see all of her kits, and I would love it if you'd come back and let us know what you get if you shop. Tomorrow I will be live on my site showing you more fall kits that will release tomorrow. But you can go ahead and start your cart, and just so you know, when you buy from Christina, there's no shipping added, so you could get something today and then go in tomorrow and get something, and you're not having to worry about, oh, I should have ordered it together to make sure it all, you know, the shipping charged all together. You don't have to worry about that. There's no shipping added. It's all included. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay, let's tie raffia on to this guy. Hang on. I want to do maybe half this and then tie it and cut the loop. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to tie it on. I don't know. Maybe I can get a bow out of this. I don't know. This may be too short to do a bow. We'll see. I'm going to cut that loop. I just don't want to yet until I have everything on there. I could cut it beforehand. It would work either way. Let's see if I can get that through there. Hang on. Hang on. I think I'm going to have to add a little glue behind this so it'll stay in place. Try it again. These strands don't want to stay together going through the loop. I probably just need to get a bigger piece. We're going to try this one more time here and see. There we go. We may have gotten it. May have gotten it. Let's fluff it up. And remember, hold on, come on, you need to go down lower. It's not. I'll have to glue it in place. Hold on. Let me cut this loop. And this loop. There were two. Here we go. And cut that shorter. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I'm going to put a little glue behind it and hope it stays in place and doesn't untie. I'm gonna hold that for a second while I put my lid back on my glue before it dries out. Oh, you like how the joy sign came out? Where is it? Oh, it's right there. That one was, we're sprinkling in a little bit of Christmas in these collections throughout the year. So that, when was that? Was that just the summer collection where we had the joy sign? Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. And there's so many ways you can do that one. Okay. There we go. We got a little bow on there. And I'm going to go ahead. Okay, you guys have to tell me where this needs to be added. Okay. Well, guess what? It's totally covering up the whipped cream right there. So I think it's going to have to be over here by the welcome sign. I'm going to put it to the outside edge. By the welcome sign or by... Okay. I can get it to the outside edge like that. So it can be on... I don't know which side this is. Okay, the whipped cream side. Because left and right is different for you guys than it is for me. Or the welcome side. I'll glue that on. I'm going to get your opinion on it. And I'll glue that on after. You guys can vote. And I'll glue it on after. So let me put the stand together so you can see what it's going to look like. We didn't do the leaves. Nobody reminded me. Other side. Oh, that doesn't help me, Christina. I need to glue the leaves on the top. This way or this way. Oh, and now you have to tell me, do I do the leaves going up or down? What do you think? Up or down on the leaves? And then pumpkin makes all the orange on one side by the whipped cream. That's true. That's true. This helps balance it. I think you're right. Whipped cream side says Suzanne and Peggy. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? Welcome side gives it okay, so Marlene is saying the same thing. You're laughing at me because I forget stuff. Okay. Okay, I agree with Christina on the orange. I think that's why I was leaning toward that. So let's go ahead and glue that on. Ooh, I left my ivory open. Down, up. Oh no, I need more votes, guys. Talk to me. Tell me what we're doing here. Okay, so my glue is going to be right here on this half. Open my glue back up. Down for the leaves. Down. Got 2 votes for down. So I only need the glue on the half that is going to overlap this thing. And I'm going to even it with the very bottom of the Hutch foot and glue it down. Oh, my bow came back up. Okay. The bow came up and then I glued it down, so the bow's going to have to be glued to the front. I will have to retie it and add it in. That's temporary right there that it's going to stick on. Okay, up. Okay, so we've got 3 votes for down and 2 votes for up. I think I'm going to go for down also. I am team down on this. So I'm going to put the glue right across the middle, and that should be enough. Team down on the leaves. And I'm bringing it in a little bit. It's going to overlap the cider and the autumn blessing sign a tiny bit. So that's why I wanted to put it on last. There we go. Ta-da! What do you think? Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Where'd my stand go? There it is. And the stand comes with it. Get all this out of the way. Now you could add this into some other decor piece. If you have a sign, if you have something with a frame that you want it to be propped inside of, all of that will look great. But you can also use the stand that comes with it. Ah, it's so cute. It's just so cute. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. I love it so much, guys. Thank you. One thing now looking at it, I might have done differently is I might have brought in that dry brush of the ivory color on the frame. Okay. I think it would have added a little bit of dimension so that not everything is the same color in the background. What do you think? I just thought it would look a little more like vintage, true Hutch if it was the same color, but I think maybe if we had done a dry brush on that, it would have stood out a little bit more. Thank you guys. Oh, Autumn Blessings Hutch, and she has a whole collection of different Hutches. She even has one for Halloween. She has a faith-based one. She has the general farmhouse style. So many cute. And the farmhouse one is cute because it has little Pyrex bowls. You have to go look at it. So you go over to her site, take a look, come back and tell us what you decide to get and what you're going to be crafting up. And go over to Christina's group, which is the Creative Cottage. I think that's the name of it. And you can post pictures of what you make. So thank you for being here, guys. I'm Joey with Created in Awe. I hope you'll come over to my page and check things out, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.